Hello guys, this is the Modern Bladesman with my review of the Cold Steel Broken Skull, a single-edged lockback folding knife. It is a super adaptable knife that can be used in almost any situation where you would want a knife. There are many good qualities about this knife, going from the weight, the blade steel, and the profiling when put into your pocket or whatever. But there are some minor drawbacks that keep me from completely loving this knife. But for the average person, there's so much to love about this knife. This may be the perfect knife for you. So let's just talk about this handle first here. That was a bad deployment. It's completely G10. Pretty good texture here. It feels like a super fine sandpaper. It makes it so that it's not slippery, but it also doesn't really hurt your hand either. And it's absolutely has an amazing feel to the hand. There's no liners on the blade. I don't know if you can see. Keeps it extremely light. It's got a backspacer though. I believe that's also G10. That's what it feels like anyway. It's got a pocket clip for tip up carry, which is reversible. So for the lefties out there, that's a pretty important feature. It also has some jimping on the G10 here, not on the steel for the lock, but it's the way that your skin goes down and forms to the handle, makes it so that the sharp edges of that jimping really grab your finger. So that's pretty good at retaining your grip on the knife. So that's pretty good. I like it a lot. It's also got torque screws, so you can take it apart and adjust the blade. So overall, great handle. The only thing I do not personally like about the handle is the thinness. Now, I do understand that a lot of you will not care, or you may like the thinness of the blade. It's just not me. But I do know that it's a compromise between comfortability and concealability. When you put it in your pocket, the thinness makes it almost invisible in your pocket. Unless you're wearing like super skinny jeans, and that's a different story. But if you're wearing super skinny jeans, this may be one of the only knives that fits in your pocket anyway. So, see how it is. The thumb stud here, it's pretty damn comfortable. It has some jimping on it, or not jimping, but ridges on it to keep it easily, what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? Well, it's just easy to open with your hand, alright? The only thing I don't like about that thumb stud is, unfortunately, the left side is smaller, half the size of the right side. And since I tend to carry my knives on the left side, that's kind of sucks for all of you lefties out there, and it sucks kind of for me too. It would be amazing if it was the same on each side. I mean, everything else is ambidextrous. I don't see why the thumb stud is not. But it's a minor problem. If you get used to it, you can open it pretty easily, so it's not that bad. Now, going on to the blade here, it is CTS-XHP, which in my experience is a pretty good knife. It's definitely an upgrade to Cold Steel's AUS 8 and CTS BD1. So I think it has some good head retention, and overall is a pretty high-end steel. The blade also comes really sharp out of the box. I think it's just below shaving sharp. So it's pretty damn good edge, especially for most of you guys out there. And if you want a better one, all you have to do is sharpen it. So it's pretty damn good. It's completely flat ground from the spine all the way to the blade here. Keeps the edge at a very acute angle for some slicing tasks, and it slices extremely well because of that. So that's pretty good. As for the point here, because of this clip right here, it keeps the point completely parallel to the rest of the knife. So when you're thrusting, it's super strong thrust is what you're going to get out of that. So that's a really good design as well. The way that the blade is super thick, but the way that the clip goes makes it so that that point is still completely parallel. I think that's an amazing design. And it also has that slight distal taper, which makes sense because it does go down on the blade. So it would be thinner down here. and it's really tough. Its thickness is not too thin, so it's lightweight and extremely strong. The only drawback I can see on this knife is super minor, like extraordinarily minor, and that's just the aesthetics. I personally don't like the look of the blade. It's just not too handsome for me, in my opinion. But yeah, that's extremely minor. Some of you will love the look of this blade. I understand that. It's just not my cup of tea. Now for the weight, as I mentioned before, it's super lightweight. To compare it to other knives, I would say it's Spyderco light. And Spyderco to me is the epitome of performance to weight ratio. So let's look at a Spyderco that I have over here. I have a Spyderco Salt, Pacific Salt. It's a lot harder to deploy in front of a camera than I thought, but yeah, it deploys really fast. It also has no liners. 2.9 ounces. That is a light knife. A lot of knives that I've handled are on the 3 to 4 ounces range, such as the Saw Trident and no, not that one. But yeah, you get the idea. Most of them are 3 to 4 ounces. That's like the ideal EDC carry weight for most people. I can carry a heavier one. I carry this all the time. This is about like 4.6 ounces, I believe. Don't remember that on the top of my head. Might as well just check it. 4.3 ounces, my bad. Yeah, and that fits really well in my pocket. I love it. But this is 2.9, super light. For the Cold Steel Broken Skull, it's 3 ounces. Just an ounce heavier. And this is a lightweight Spyderco. So when it comes to weight, this thing is amazing. And I believe it's a little bit longer than the Spyderco Salt. Yes, it is. It's about overall length, maybe a ½ an inch longer. So it's for 1 ounce, 1 ounce more, you get quite a bit. So that is some amazing weight to performance. Now, when it comes to the comfortability, I do prefer the Spyderco a little bit more just because it's slightly wider. I don't know if you can pick that up, but it's almost unnoticeable to the eye. But holding it, I can definitely feel the difference between the two. I slightly prefer the Spyderco, but this thing is still amazing. When it comes to the looks, I do slightly prefer a more classical looking knife, such as like what I just showed you, the ZT-0452. I love that blade, and they're about the same overall length, as you can see there. But, you know, like I said again, that's just nitpicking, so super minor, and a lot of you will just find this to be the perfect knife, especially if you don't have a lot of money to shelf over. This thing is only 82 bucks at Blade HQ, I believe. Amazing value for this, for the price. And like the downsides I mentioned before, they're super minor. You probably won't even care. They're more of a style difference, I guess you could say. There's nothing inadvertently negative to this knife to me, negative about this knife to me, except for that thumb stud that I was telling you about before. You lefties may not enjoy that. I definitely don't enjoy it, so your mileage may vary. If you're right-handed, no problem. It shouldn't even make a difference to you. But yeah, it's not ideal. I don't know why they would make one side a little bit lighter. I guess it kind of brings down the cost, maybe. But you know, it kind of sucks that a completely ambidextrous knife is not completely ambidextrous because of that thumb stud. So, you know, if that's a problem for you, then I say that it's not that big of a problem. You can still open the knife pretty well. So all in all, still an amazing knife, even if you're left-handed. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want me to review any other knife, just put it on the comments below. I'll see what I can do. I hope all of you have a great day.